freaking go, baby.
Yes! Yes!
Here we are with show 2 of turkey season 23. I mentioned as we closed out show 1 last week, we've got a variety of different podcasts out there. Matt and Tim with Ray I, one of our best buddies and somebody we love like a brother, did a full series with some of the best turkey hunters in the country. Myself and Kurt Geyer with Working Class Bow Hunter did Working Class on Deercast, the OG series. So if you listen to these podcasts, you'll get more tips and tactics than you could possibly imagine from some of the best turkey hunters out there in the country. Now here we go with our part 2 of the 10-part series for turkey season 23. These are some of the best hunts from turkey season 22 as we do a pep rally leading into when we actually start hunting. We're going to start with Josh Sparks in Iowa, awesome self-film kill, then Austin Land in Missouri, my son-in-law with Perry, and then back to Iowa with Wade. 3 awesome big eastern gobblers coming at you from the Midwest right here on turkey season 23.
All right, well, good morning, May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day. And just got to the farm. It's just about 5 o'clock. Hunted here twice. First time I came from Buddy Drake, and we brought these birds up into this little bit of pasture that I marked on Deercast maps. They roost to the northeast on this property, right above the creek. It makes sense where they're at. And they've worked their way to the northeast. So what I'm gonna do is take the bird in the hand and I'm gonna walk. It looked like when I did it on Deercast map with the path tool, it's about 0.75 miles. It's gonna be a trek in there with the decoys and everything else, but beautiful morning. Hopefully I can get in there and the birds are talking. Hopefully somebody somewhere in the Drury Outdoors team has some success.
There's one over here, and I'll put it on the map, but it sounds like there's 2 to 3 in this draw. Come on, baby, come on in. Let's go. These birds are out in the field right now already. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go, baby. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sir.
Like I said, beautiful morning. Did some soft yelping on the old HS call. Then we got a bird down, a beautiful, beautiful May 4th. So Decoy got tore up. Bought these yesterday because I wanted my own set. Ooh, yeah, got some nice hooks on them. I'll take those all day. First things first, gotta get them tagged up. All right, well, here's the end result of just a perfect May 4th morning in the state of Iowa. Couldn't be more thankful. You know, you saw my reaction in the blind. First thing I got to do again is thank you, Jimmy, for allowing me to come to your property, hunt these birds, and have a great time. And, you know, ultimately, this hunt started last night. I was sitting there editing, happened to look at DeerCast and saw that we were finally going to get a break in the rain. So it's been a very, very wet spring, lots of wind. And so today, when I saw those conditions change, I knew I had to be out here. Worked all night last night, went to bed about 2 a.m., packed up everything, got out here, heard a single tom over here, and then I heard 2 to 3 fire off over in this draw. And I knew I was in the game having birds on either side. So I just did a lot of soft yelping, and eventually I just shut up when they were about 40, 50 yards behind me hammering. I knew that they could see the decoys. I had the AV and HDR Jake and hen. Eventually I'm sitting there, got kind of caught off guard, and I heard boom right to my right. I knew that they crossed the fence, and sure enough, you saw the rest unfold. I probably could have let the tom sit there a little bit longer looking back on the situation, but you know, in the heat of the moment, I wanted to fill this tag super bad, and I couldn't be happier or more thankful for how it unfolded. Good luck to you if you still have tags left to fill. I know Mark, the gang, are still down in Missouri hitting it hard. Best of luck to everybody. Couldn't be more thankful. This is what it's all about. Good luck the next time you hit the woods.
Turkey season is here and DeerCast has you covered. Use maps to mark your hunting spots, roost trees, strut zones, and more. And prep for your hunts with our advanced weather tracking and wind tools. Prep, predict, and pursue with DeerCast.
Man, what a phenomenally produced hunt by Josh Sparks there. And I think one of the things I take away from that hunt as I observe it, Josh had a long walk to get where he needed to go, but he got to where he needed to go. And there's something about getting between where a bird's at and where they want to go. And Josh got into that strut zone and made it happen. He had his decoys out, blind up, sweat running down his face. I mean, that was an optimal situation for a guy that filmed a hunt on his own. Look at the effort that went in, nearly a half mile in, half mile out, but that pack out was probably a little bit sweeter. Now you watch the next couple hunts, you've got Austin and Perry that set up in a spot early, and everyone can relate to the hunt you're about to see, because how often are you in one spot, they fly down there with the hens and they sift off, and you're not in the exact spot. And all of a sudden, their birds go over the hump, they decide to make a very aggressive move, get out there with the turkeys. It's about getting between where they're at and where they want to be. And then they got out where they had just been, used a trophy tom, and pulled these birds into their lap. Then on the last hunt, you'll see myself, Rob Keck, Wade Robinson, and Perry go into a known strut zone. We had hunted this field earlier in the spring, and we got in there a little bit late, Wader, and then we put the decoys out, but we were where the turkeys wanted to be. It's a known strut zone, and the landowner has clover planted there for a reason. He loves the fact that it's great in the spring for turkeys, great in the fall for deer, and that's part of that overall habitat as well. Clover fields, green pastures, those types of things are often where turkeys want to be. So pay attention to where you see these birds strut, and then do your best to get between where he's at and where he wants to be to help you kill more turkeys. I first heard that saying probably back in the early 1980s, Mr. Ben Rogers Lee at a seminar in St. Louis, and that stuck with me. And I know sometimes it's hard to define exactly where that spot is, but boy, once you find it, it's often the same spot year after year.
Well, today's a national holiday. It's May 4th, it's Coondog's birthday. And Perry and I came down to Missouri this morning. We got 3 crews going out, so hopefully we can get a bird down for Dog's birthday, one of the 3. But anyway, it took us a while to hear these birds, and we finally got them going. There's 3 of them down here, so we slipped in. We're maybe a couple hundred yards from this close one. Just trying to figure out a good spot to set up on them. Well, we got into these birds. We were probably 200 yards from where they were roosted, and they were on a big wooded ridge. Their hens finally came out into the field, and they eventually followed about 20 minutes after and gobbled really good. So I think if we can get inside there, in their realm, we might be able to get them to play. They just talked this pasture right here, so we're gonna do a little scooting and get down and see if we can't fan them over the top or yelp them over. So we'll see. Clocking out.
Yes! Yes!
That's what I call a scoot shoot.
Congrats.
That was freaking awesome. That was awesome. They roared, and then that second time you exposed yourself, they got mad.
Oh, yeah.
You could hear them.
They wouldn't move. The first time I saw them, they just stood still. And then, oh my goodness.
Another hook daddy for the mad dog team. Look at that.
Congrats, buddy.
Thanks, brother. Yeah. Well, as I said earlier, today's May 4th, which should be a national holiday. It's Coon Dog's birthday, and we always strive to get him a birthday bird. And Perry and I were lucky enough to slip into this beautiful Missouri farm this morning. We came in here unscouted. He just went off a MRI actually from last season. And we got to the first spot, no gobbles, looped back up to the top, and they were hammering all through these hardwoods. And a little patience, they came out, finally came over top this hill. We used the trophy tom to perfection. Perry got up here, spotted the gobblers, yelped at them a little bit, and the rest is history, you'll see. But these two come in fast, furious, and ready to fight. Winchester did its job. Now we gotta go to Toot Toots, Perry.
Let's go, buddy.
Whoop, whoop.
This episode of DoD TV is brought to you by the new specially designed, lightweight, and durable Tenzing Hang Time Day Pack. Go further, hunt longer, Tenzing.
And for Wade, if he's on time, that's early.
I just hate being with people that don't show up when
Yeah.
you've agreed to meet.
Good boy.
I pulled in right at 5:05.
Late.
Hey, Wade. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Well, finally made it into the blind. Got Mark and Rob Keck up in the blind above us. We got a couple hen decoys out at about 5 yards because we couldn't get them out any further into the field. It's getting light so early this time of year. Perry and I crawled in this muddy blind, and we got a gobbler, a couple jakes, some hens just off this field. So beautiful clover field. We've been getting all kinds of intel from the landowner that they've been using this field a lot. So I think we're in the right spot this morning. We got 20 to 30 mile an hour winds today. It's gonna get up to 92. I don't think we really had a spring. This spring is 50s a couple days ago, 90 today. But we're excited. Turkeys are gobbling. Hopefully they do right this morning. So we got Wade and Perry below us in the muddy. We got 2 hen decoys out. Rob and I are up top. We got the best view in the house from this box blind that sits on this field. And we got birds gobbling off to the west, off to the north. And we're hoping they come to this clover field. We sat here the other night with Rob, saw some birds, but they wouldn't finish.
Now, jakes have messed me up all spring long, but that's a good thing.
We never get mad about it.
Don't get mad about it. But every time we think we're about to get it done, the jakes come in and just
Mess
bump
with
that
us.
long beard out. It happened yesterday. We were almost, we were ready.
I know.
We were in Missouri.
Did it again.
Did it again.
He just gobbled. Must have a head with him or something.
He did it. Heck yeah. Let's go.
Good call.
Oh, that was fun, buddy. Awesome.
We got him. Oh man, this whole flock came to the field just like we had thought. Didn't come into the decoys, but we just got it done here in Iowa. Awesome.
Once the jakes came.
Yeah. Oh man, that was fun.
How about that?
How about it, buddy?
That was fun.
That was fun.
Love it, man.
Thanks. That was awesome.
I tell
They
you.
just came marching right in.
To hear those turkeys gobble though to start, that's probably some of the better gobbling I've heard this spring from the roost.
Yeah.
It's been sort of an unusual spring, and so many times, you think, man, they got to gobble, maybe a time or two, or not at all. Ended up picking them up later in the morning, but hey, they didn't waste any time.
No, they
this
didn't.
morning.
They come right out, all before the sun's up. Look at those feathers. White.
I know, I saw that he's missing one over here
Yeah.
too. When he was in strut, I saw he's missing. But I also picked up on this set
Those
of tail
bands.
feathers.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's pretty awesome. Thank you guys so
Look-
much.
Look at it.
That was a fun hunt this morning, guys.
Hey, to watch it happen, watch it unfold, you know something that's happening in 49 states right now. Every state in the country, this is happening.
It is.
And you think about the number of people that are enjoying what we just enjoyed right here.
And it's so nice to see the numbers in certain areas bouncing back a little bit. We've
It
seen
is.
several jakes. I think yesterday we counted up, since Rob's been in, we've seen probably like 15 jakes, and that's nice. We try to manage for our turkeys with good habitat improvement, everything we can do to help them out from a food plot standpoint. We lay off of them if the numbers are down, and then we press the gas if we've got good bird numbers like we do here.
Yeah, there's no question that in all of my travels this spring, I mean, here we are in May, first week of May, and I've seen lots of jakes everywhere I've been, which means we had a good hatch last year. We need a couple more good ones in a row to bring those numbers back up.
We do. In certain parts of the country, we need several good hatches in a row.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of states that have taken measures to try to improve their numbers, and I just, I salute all those game and fish agencies that have really taken it seriously, that, we've got to do the kind of things that are important to pass on this great heritage, but to preserve the return of the wild turkey.
Absolutely. We talk about it a lot, and I think it's fitting while Rob's here to talk about all the work we put into making sure the flock stays as healthy as possible. And one of the most important things, in my opinion, is trigger finger management. There's certain farms where we won't consider taking a turkey.
Yeah.
I've been to states where we're like, you know what, there's not a huntable population here compared to what we're used to. So sometimes we have to look at ourselves and say, is it a good population or is it not? This is a great example. You got 3 jakes, 2 longbeards. Taking a longbeard out of here isn't going to hurt anything. We heard 6 or 7 turkeys gobbling in
We
here,
look
but
at states
we're
like-
done here now.
Yeah, you look at states like South Carolina, where I live, Alabama, they've reduced those bag limits on purpose for a reason, to try to, let's try to
them
build
back
this
a little bit,
population back up.
Yep. So we all have to do what we can as stewards to the resource to do the best job we can. And it sounds perhaps a little contradictory because we're sitting here over a dead turkey. However, we felt good about the population in here.
Well, I think we got to continue to say that, look, hunting is part of conservation. There's the word preservation. We want to preserve, of course, the species, but these turkeys don't live forever.
They don't.
And so, part of your management scheme is harvest management.
It is.
You've set that here. Many states have taken upon themselves to do the very same thing, and we're going to have turkeys for tomorrow, turkeys to pass on to next generations.
No doubt.
So we can relive that moment year after year.
Oh my gosh.
So much fun.
We love it so much, and we appreciate you coming in, Rob. It was a pleasure again this morning to sit here over a dead turkey watching the sunrise. These moments are too precious.
Let me tell you how special it is for me. We've talked about this for how long, Mark?
Many years.
Many years. Finally came to fruition. To share it here with Wade and Perry, I mean, it's just, I want to hold on to this moment. It's at a time like this. I mean, you've had the excitement of the turkeys gobbling on the roost, coming in, watching them strut, finally making a great shot. And I don't want this time to end. You just want to drink up this moment and just have time at a standstill.
Absolutely.
and it is right now.
It's standing still right now. We're enjoying it.
Beautiful sunrise, beautiful gobbler, and great friends. Awesome stuff.
Awesome stuff, and it is only, what time is it? 6:20. Fun stuff.
It's about time for breakfast, boys.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
There's no better time than turkey season. It was such a pleasure sharing the Spring Woods with Rob Keck last season, and I'll never forget the moments we had with Wade's bird. There's more moments coming up in next week's show. We actually killed 4 different turkeys in next week's show, 3 in Iowa, 1 in Missouri, and Rob's in on 2 of those. He gets to fill his Iowa tag as well. We had a great time with him and it's an honor to have him here within Turkey Season 23, because I really can't think of one man that's done more for the wild turkey over the last 5 decades than Rob Keck has. He is Mr. Conservation as far as we're concerned, and it was a real honor. And a guy that knows so much about the turkey hunting and also the history of the wild turkey. He's an absolute national treasure when it comes to conservation. Can't wait for next week's show.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by Avian X Turkey Decoys. Fuel the madness.